cold wind howled through the dark alley, carrying whispers of forgotten warnings. Jarek tightened his jacket around his shoulders and stepped carefully on the wet metal grates beneath his feet. His boots echoed softly against the steel corridors. Of the abandoned space station, somewhere far above, stars burned silently, indifferent to the chaos below. He had come looking for answers. The last transmission from the station was garbled, but one phrase repeated over and over haunted his mind. "You'll die in seconds, human." Jarek had never believed in ghost stories or warnings. He had faced pirates, storms, and cosmic radiation. But something about this felt different. His heart beat faster, but his hands stayed steady. He had to see for himself. A sudden metallic clang made him freeze. From the shadows, a figure emerged. She moved like liquid, almost too fast to follow. Her eyes glowed a faint blue, and her voice hissed through the emptiness, chilling his blood. "You'll die in seconds." Human. Most would have fallen to their knees and begged, but Jarek only smiled faintly. Slowly, he shrugged off his jacket, letting it fall to the floor with a soft thud. His calmness did not come from bravery, he had none but from understanding. Something deep inside. The alien's eyes narrowed. You are not afraid." "I don't need to be," Jarek replied, his voice calm, almost mocking. "Step forward, if you dare." A laugh escaped her throat, low and mechanical, echoing. In the hollow corridors, "Humans are foolish," she said. "You think courage will save you. I think curiosity will," he said, stepping closer. "And sometimes, that is stronger than fear." The space around them seemed to hum. Sparks of electricity danced along the walls, and a low vibration shook the floor. Jarek's senses screamed at him to run, but something else, something unexplainable, kept him rooted. She circled him slowly, studying his movements. Her form shimmered like a reflection in broken glass. No human has ever stood in front of me and lived, she murmured. "Then maybe it's time for a first," Jarek said, tilting his head. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, glowing device. It pulsed with light, responding to the presence of the alien. She froze. For the first time, uncertainty flickered across her features. "What is that?" Jarek held it up. "A key?" "Two answers. To survival. To understanding what you've been guarding all these years," she hissed again, stepping back, but her curiosity betrayed her. Her blue eyes locked onto the device, watching every pulse, every flicker. "You do not understand what you hold," she warned. "One wrong move, and I already know the risk," Jarek interrupted, stepping closer, ignoring the hum of electricity and the rising tension. "But I also know that fear has no place in discovery. Not here. Not now." The air between them seemed to crackle. Shadows moved as if alive, and the station groaned under its own weight. Yet Jarek's calm resolve remained unshaken. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she stepped aside. "Then prove it, human," she said. "Prove that you can survive." "What comes next?" Jarek's eyes gleamed. He knew the station held secrets older than humanity itself, and tonight he would uncover them one step at a time as he stepped forward into the darkness, leaving his jacket behind like a token of defiance. He had no idea how close he was to changing everything, or how deadly the price of curiosity could be. The corridor seemed endless. Jarek's boots clanged softly on the metal floor as he moved deeper into the station. Shadows twisted around him, and strange whispers echoed through the air vents. Every step made him feel like the walls themselves were alive, watching, waiting. The alien had vanished, but her presence lingered, a chill that brushed against his neck. Jarek clutched the glowing device in his hand, feeling it pulse with life. It seemed almost aware of the danger ahead. Suddenly, the floor beneath him shivered, and a hidden panel slid open. A sharp gust of air knocked him back. A narrow tunnel, dark and tight, appeared before him. His instincts screamed to turn back, but his curiosity pushed him forward. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. The air was thick, almost electric. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the walls, flickering as he passed. They weren't just decorations, they were warnings, or maybe instructions. He didn't know yet. A low growl echoed from somewhere deep within the tunnel. Jarek froze. His heart pounded, but he reminded himself that panic would not save him. Slowly, he moved forward, each step measured and careful. Then he saw her just a shadow at first, moving like liquid. The alien was ahead, her glowing eyes. Cutting through the darkness, she was waiting for him. "You are persistent," she hissed. "Do you understand what lies beyond this corridor?" Jarek shook his head. "I don't need to know everything. I just need to see it for myself." Her laugh was cold, almost mechanical. "Curiosity is a dangerous thing for your kind." Suddenly, the tunnel shifted. Walls moved as if alive, closing in, opening, changing the path. Jarek realized this station wasn't just abandoned, it was alive. Every corridor, every room, every shadow was part of a labyrinth designed to test intruders. He ran his fingers along the walls, searching for clues, following the faint glow of the device in his hand. It pulsed faster now, almost like it was guiding him. A trap door opened beneath him, and he tumbled into a hidden chamber. Sparks flew as he landed on the cold metal floor. The chamber was vast, filled with strange machines and alien devices that hummed with energy. In the center, a glowing orb floated, radiating light that made the shadows dance wildly. The alien appeared again, stepping out from behind a console. "This is where most humans fail," she said. "They see wonder and forget fear. You will not survive what comes next." Jarek stood, brushing himself off. He stared at the orb. "Fear won't stop me," he said. "I want answers. I want to know what this station is hiding." Her eyes narrowed. "Answers come at a price. Human, are you ready to pay it?" He nodded. The device in his hand flared, and the chamber shook. Lights flickered, machines whirred, and a deep hum filled the air. The alien backed away slightly, her form trembling. Something moved within the orb, shapes twisting and reforming like liquid metal. Jarek stepped closer, unable to look away. The station seemed to breathe around him, alive and aware. "You don't understand," the alien whispered, voice almost afraid. "This is beyond your mind. Beyond your kind, one wrong step, and everything ends." Jarek smiled faintly. "Then, I'll take the step anyway." The moment he reached toward the orb, the alien hissed and lunged. Sparks flew, the ground trembled, and a blinding light filled the room. Jarek felt a surge of energy, strange and overwhelming, coursing through. He didn't know if he was ready. He didn't know if he could survive. But one thing was certain, nothing would ever be the same again. The blinding light burned through Jarek's vision, yet he didn't flinch. His hand hovered above the glowing orb, feeling its raw power ripple through the air. The station trembled around him, metal groaning and sparks flying from damaged panels. The alien hissed, her form flickering like static electricity. "Stop! You do not know what you are touching," she warned, her voice sharp with fear and anger. Jarek's heart pounded, but curiosity won. He pressed his hand onto the orb. A surge of energy shot through his body, lifting him slightly off the floor. The device in his pocket vibrated violently, syncing with the orb. Images, memories, and strange knowledge flooded his mind in an instant. Visions of other worlds, alien civilizations, and battles older than humanity flashed before him. He could see stars being born and dying, entire planets rising and falling. His mind struggled to comprehend it, but he held on. The alien's eyes widened. You are not human," she whispered, stepping back. How are you?" Jarek gasped, staggering as the visions faded. I feel everything," he said, his voice trembling. "I can see it all. I understand." So much the station shook violently, and a deep rumbling sound echoed through the corridors. Panels exploded, and sparks shot across the floor. Jarek barely had time to step back before a wave of energy knocked him down. The alien lunged again, but this time her movements were slower, hesitant. Something had changed. The orb pulsed brighter, protecting him in a strange, invisible barrier. "You have the connection?" she muttered, disbelief in her voice. "No human has ever done this." Jarek struggled to his feet. The energy coursing through him was intense, almost overwhelming, but it gave him clarity. He could sense the station's heartbeat, the flow of power in every corridor and chamber. He realized then that the orb wasn't just a machine, it was alive, a core of the station itself. "You are not here to die," Jarek said, his voice stronger now. "You are here to understand, to see the truth." The alien's form flickered. Violently, her hands raised in frustration. You cannot control this. This power, it is forbidden. I don't want to control it, Jarek said. I want to learn. To see what has been hidden from humans for centuries. The orbs. Light stabilized, and the station seemed to calm. The alien hesitated, then stepped back completely. For the first time, Jarek saw a hint of respect in her glowing eyes. Follow me, she said, voice softer now. If you survive the next trial, you will see the heart of this station, and understand why it has been abandoned. Jarek nodded. Every step he had taken, every risk he had faced, led him here. He followed the alien deeper into the station, through corridors that twisted like living things until they reached a massive door. Strange symbols glowed along its surface, reacting to the orb's light. This is the threshold, she said. Beyond this, even you may falter. Jarek's fingers brushed the symbols, and the door hummed, slowly sliding open. A warm golden light spilled into the corridor, casting long shadows behind them. He could hear a low hum, almost like a heartbeat, coming from within. This is it, he whispered, awestruck. Yes, the alien said quietly. The heart of everything, but be warned. Some truths are heavier than death. Jarek took a deep breath. He had come for answers, and now they were within reach. But the deeper he went, the more he realized the station, the alien, the orb. They were testing him not for survival alone, but for something far greater. As he stepped forward into the light, he had no idea what awaited him, but he knew one thing for certain. Nothing would ever be the same again. Warm golden light surrounded Jarek as he stepped through the massive door. The moment he entered, the door sealed shut behind him with a deep metallic sound. The air felt heavy, as if the room itself was testing his breath. The chamber was huge. Tall pillars stretched up into darkness, covered in glowing symbols that slowly moved like flowing water. In the center floated a massive crystal structure, beating like a living heart. Each pulse sent waves of energy through the floor. The alien stood beside him, quieter than before. This is the truth chamber, she said. Many enter, none leave unchanged. Jarek felt the energy pull at his mind. The orb in his hand rose. Into the air, drawn toward the crystal. His body felt light, but his thoughts felt heavy. Suddenly the chamber reacted. The light shifted from gold to deep. RED, a loud voice echoed from everywhere at once. Identity not confirmed. The floor split apart. Jarek barely jumped back as a deep pit opened beneath him. From the darkness, shapes rose, tall figures made of shadow and light. They had no faces, only glowing eyes. Defenders, the alien whispered. They judge. Worth. The figures moved closer. Jarek's heart raced. He had no weapon, no armor, only the strange energy inside him. He raised his hands without thinking. The energy responded, forming a faint shield around him. The first defender struck. The impact shook the chamber. Jarek slid backward, his boots scraping the floor. Pain shot through his arms, but he stayed standing. You must stand, the alien shouted. They do not test strength, they test will. Another defender attacked. Jarek closed his eyes for a moment, focusing. He remembered the visions, the rise and fall of worlds, the sacrifices made to protect knowledge. He stepped forward instead. Back, the energy around him flared brighter. The defender froze. The chamber fell silent, one by one. The shadow figures stopped moving. The red light faded back to gold. The pit closed as if it had never existed. The voice returned, calmer now. Trial accepted. Jarek dropped to one knee, breathing hard. The energy slowly settled inside him, no longer wild, but controlled. The crystal heart pulsed once more, and images filled the air clear and sharp. He saw the truth. This station was not abandoned. It was a prison long ago. Not a creature, but a mind endless, cold, and hungry for control. The station was built to contain it. The alien guardians were not monsters. They were wardens. You see now, the alien said softly, we were never your enemies. Looked at her? Then why threaten me? Because humans forget fear, she replied, and without fear, they destroy what they do not understand. The crystal pulsed again. The images changed. The prison was weakening. Cracks of dark energy spread through the station walls. The seal is failing. the alien said, "and it is reacting to you." Jarek stood slowly. "Because I connected to the core." She nodded. "You were not meant to, but now it is done." A deep rumble shook the chamber. The crystal heart flickered dot from deep within the station. Something stirred, something awake. Jarek felt Itan intelligence older than stars, turning its attention toward him, the aliens. Voice trembled. "Part 5 will decide everything," she said. "Survival or extinction." The chamber lights dimmed, and somewhere in the darkness, something began to smile. The chamber shook again. This time the sound was deeper, slower, like something massive was turning in its sleep. The crystal heart flickered between light and shadow. Jarek felt it before he heard it. A presence, not a sound, not a shape. A thought, human. The voice entered his mind like cold smoke. It did not shout, it did not threaten. It simply existed, heavy and endless. Jarek clenched his fists. His body wanted to run, but his mind stayed calm. "I hear you," he said. Aloud, the alien stepped back in fear. "Do not answer it," she warned. "Once it knows you, it will never forget." Too late, the darkness in the chamber thickened, gathering near the crystal. A shadow formed, not a body, but a suggestion of one. "You are different," the voice said. "You touched the core and did not break." Jarek felt memories that were not his own press against his thoughts. Wars, stars burning, civilizations falling. This thing had watched everything. "You are the prisoner," Jarek said slowly. A pause followed. Then the voice laughed, quiet and endless. "Prisoner, I am a god to lesser minds." The alien's hands trembled. "It lies," she said. "It destroyed worlds. That is why it was sealed." "I brought order," the voice replied. "I removed chaos, fear, choice." Jarek understood then, this being did not want destruction. It wanted control. "You want to be free," Jarek said. "Yes. And if you are freed," Jarek continued, "humans lose their freedom." Silence filled the chamber. The voice grew. "Colder, freedom is weakness." The crystal heart cracked slightly. Dark energy leaked into the air, crawling like living smoke along the walls. The alien gasped. "The seal is failing faster. It is using you as a bridge." Jarek stepped back, pain flashing through his head. He could feel the being pushing, testing his mind, searching for doubt. "Release me," the voice whispered. "I will make your kind eternal." Images flashed in Jarek's mind, humanity united. No war, no hunger, no pain, but no choice, no soul. He shook his head. "That's not living." The darkness pulsed angrily. "You will regret this." The chamber alarms screamed to life. Red light flooded the room. The crystal heart shattered further. The alien grabbed Jarek's arm. "You must choose now, either seal it forever or become its host." Jarek stared at the breaking core. If he sealed it, the station would collapse. If he became the host, he could control the being, but risk losing himself. He remembered Earth. Weak, afraid, free. He made his choice. "I'll carry the burden," Jarek said, "but I won't bow." The alien's eyes widened. "You may not survive." He gave a small smile. "Humans rarely do. That's how we grow." Jarek stepped toward the breaking core. The darkness rushed at him, wrapping around his body like chains. Pain exploded through his mind. The voice screamed not in anger but surprise. "You cannot contain me. I can," Jarek said through clenched teeth. "Because I choose." 2. The chamber erupted in blinding light. The station screamed, and somewhere across the stars, something ancient realized it had made a mistake. The light faded slowly. Jarek lay on the cold metal floor, his body shaking. Every breath burned like fire. The chamber was barely holding together. Cracks ran across the walls, and sparks rained from above like falling stars. Inside his mind, the darkness screamed. The ancient being was no longer trapped outside, it was inside him. "You are weak," the voice roared. "Your will shatter." Jarek clenched his teeth and forced himself to stand. His reflection appeared on a broken metal panel and he barely recognized it. His eyes glowed faintly, filled with shifting light and shadow. "I'm still here," he said. "That's enough." The alien rushed to his side. "The station cannot survive this," she said urgently. "The core is collapsing. We have minutes." Jarek felt the station's pain like his own. He could sense every corridor, every failing system. The ancient being pushed against his mind, trying to break free. "Let me guide you," it whispered. "Together we will rule." "No," Jarek replied calmly. "You don't guide, you command." The alien looked at him with fear and something else, respect. "There's one way," she said quietly. "You can seal it completely, but you must become the lock." Jarek already knew. "If I do that," he said, "I can't leave." She nodded. "Your body will remain. Your mind will guard the prison." The station shook violently. A massive explosion rocked the lower levels. Jarek thought of Earth again. Blue skies, loud cities, small lives that mattered because they were free. "I was never meant to be a hero," he said softly. "Just a man who stepped forward." The ancient being laughed inside him. "You will fade. I am eternal." Jarek closed his eyes. "Maybe," he said, "but humans have always burned bright, even if only for a moment." He stepped toward the center of the chamber. Energy surged around him, lifting him into the air. The alien activated the final sequence, her hands moving across glowing controls. Tears formed in her eyes. "You surprised us. Human," she said. "You reminded us why this prison was built." The darkness inside Jarek pushed harder than ever. Pain tore through his thoughts. Memories slipped. Faces blurred. He held on. "I choose," he whispered. Every second. The crystal heart reformed around him, rebuilding itself with his body at the center. Light and shadow twisted together, sealing the cracks. The ancient being screamed not in rage, but in fear. "No, you cannot hold me forever. Forever is made of moments," Jarek replied, "and I can hold moments." With a final surge, the chamber went silent. The shaking stopped. The alarms died. The station stabilized. Jarek hung motionless within the crystal. His eyes closed, his face calm. The alien fell to her knees. The prison was sealed again, but at a terrible cost. She stood slowly, looking at him one last time. "Your kind is strange," she said softly. "Fragile, yet unstoppable." The station began to power down, entering deep sleep far away across the stars. Nothing changed, and yet everything had. Time passed, no one knew how long. The station drifted silently at the edge of known space, powered down, forgotten once more. Inside its heart, the crystal prison remained whole, and within it, Jarek still existed. He did not dream, he did not sleep, he endured. The ancient being inside him was silent now, locked behind walls of human will. It pushed at times, tested him, waited for weakness, but Jarek never stopped choosing. Every moment, he remembered why he stood there. Freedom, far beyond the station, life continued. Humanity expanded into the stars, unaware of how close extinction had once come. Ships passed near the silent station, their sensors detecting nothing more than dead metal and cold light. The alien guardians returned over the years. They watched from afar, protecting the place from curious explorers. They spoke of Jarek in quiet voices, the human who would not kneel. Generations passed, empires rose and fell. Wars came and went. New species learned the cost of power without choice. And still, the prison held. One day, long into the future, a small human ship drifted too close. Inside was a child, staring through the viewport at the glowing station. "Why does it feel warm?" the child asked. No one answered. No one answered. Inside the crystal, Jarek felt it, a new human presence. Weak, curious, alive, for the first time in ages. He smiled. The ancient being stirred faintly. "They will fail," it whispered. "All things do," Jarek answered calmly, as he always did. "Maybe, but we always stand again." The station responded to his will, adjusting its orbit, gently pushing the ship away from danger. A quiet act, a human act. The alien guardians witnessed it and understood something at last. Humans were not strong because they lived forever. They were strong because they chose others over themselves. The crystal glowed softly, not with power, but with purpose. And in the endless dark between stars, one truth echoed louder than any god or monster ever could. When fear says, "Step back," humanity steps forward.